Hey. Just figured out my microphone. Welcome. I'm playing Minecraft today. We're just gonna do vanilla. There's no mods. This is the Java edition. There's this growing pile of evidence that kids these days want to grow up and become YouTubers and influencers. When I was growing up in an era of beeping and blooping dial-up modems, we wanted to be astronauts. All of this is aspirational, of course, because adults don't really know what they want to be, much less children who have no idea how the world works yet. Thankfully. Astronauts get to go into space, a realm that still lies almost entirely in the imagination of science fiction. To be an astronaut is to be alongside such pioneers as John Glenn, Neil Armstrong, Captain Kirk, and Luke Skywalker. The reality is that astronauts spend years training for the minutes-long rocket ride for the months they float in orbit doing relatively mundane science stuff. People get excited about rockets blasting off into space or reusable spacecraft gently landing on a pad, but space, we millennials discovered, is boring, much like landing on the moon was for boomers after that first time. These days, the new astronauts are YouTubers. They look so happy in their videos. They employ big staff and buy McLarens, and they do whatever this is. They embody the pinnacle of our materialistic dreams. They get nice things for being exactly who they are. And they float in a sea of external validation that so many artists spend entire lifetimes chasing and rarely acquire. I'm sure Van Gogh would be thrilled that his art is being used as instruments for international money laundering, but I think he just wanted enough money to live on and medical care to treat his frequent bipolar manias, if, that kind of care existed in the 19th century. But more specifically, people love video games, and the technology to record and stream them live to the masses has been democratized to such a point that you can become a YouTuber or Twitch streamer from the comfort of your own console. But in the same way that a trip to Michael's for art supplies won't make you the next great MoMA exhibit, playing Fortnite on Twitch won't make you ninja. Gaming content on YouTube is hypersaturated, which means not only are there 20 billion playthroughs of every game you've ever heard of, but advertisers pay less to display ads because they have so many videos to buy from. This means you need substantially more views as a gaming YouTuber to make a similar amount of money compared to, say, lifestyle or financial advice channels. This means to be a truly successful gaming YouTuber, you need to be exceptionally successful or have a lot of other revenue from other sources, and poking around Minecraft like everyone else isn't going to cut the cheese. Becoming a full-time professional gaming YouTuber is not easy or anything close to guaranteed. Reaching partner status on YouTube allows you to make a few bucks on your videos, but it doesn't then unlock some kind of job application to make a living. Likewise, if you're only streaming 2 to 4 hours a day on Twitch, you may as well not be streaming at all. My niche is long-form video essays on older games, and I don't make a living on it, but my Patreon supporters and my twice-annual YouTube payouts do help me buy food, which is a surprisingly vital component in making videos about games. Some people can eventually make enough money growing their channels that they can switch out the stress of a day job that they hate or are dispassionate about for the task of dealing with self-employment taxes, health insurance, and potentially managing a business. Mo money, mo problems indeed. But even after you've invested hundreds of hours into monetizing your hobby and filling your channel with content and developing a plethora of new skills, you need to get lucky. Yeah, I know, I've said the terrible words. You can put in all the hard work you want, but at the end of the day, the algorithm still needs to turn its gaze upon you. Some random popular person still needs to retweet your awesome content. Veritasium has an amazing video that I point out every single time this comes up, describing how luck determines who succeeds and who continues to toil despite being similarly skilled. If 100 people ran out in an empty field during a lightning storm with kites and metal umbrellas, only a few people at most are going to be struck by lightning. Unfortunately, there are countless YouTube advice channels and subreddits where the people who did get lucky and did get struck by algorithmic lightning try to sell the story that they're just hard workers who did the smart things you're trying to do. Everyone needs to make compelling content that people watch from beginning to end. And notice I say compelling, not necessarily well produced or highly polished or shot on red cameras. Everyone needs to make video titles and thumbnails that lure passersby into watching your channel. So it's a moral, artistic, or cognitive failing on your part if you're not pulling it off.
Oh yeah? Then tell me something, Eddie. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
This results in kind of a YouTube nouveau in much the same way that every gaming app features a cartoon dude screaming head. There is a vast sea of edited gaming videos filled with meme garbage, stock editing tricks, After Effects transitions, quick cuts, and humorous crap that will age out incredibly quickly, but for now, it gets a ton of views. Every gaming streamer in the universe has strips of RGB LEDs and dreams of $1,000 DSLRs for their face cam. Getting eyes on your content requires appealing to base instincts and emotions. I can't tell you how many times I've had to reduce my expectations on how to present my videos so that people will click on it if they're scrolling through. And then there are the people who do get a strike of algorithmic love with their hyper-viral gaming content, those struck by lightning I mentioned earlier, and are now somehow masters of all YouTube knowledge. But give it a few weeks, and suddenly they're getting just as many views as they were before, and no one cares who they are, if they ever really did. Or there's the people who just compile other people's contents and try to make money off work that they didn't make. These YouTube metagamers are not artists, they're ambulance chasers. Don't be like these people. At the same time, among the many creative hats you have to don producing your content, you have to be a marketer. The YouTube algorithm will not simply hand you views for existing. You need to reach out to communities, hopefully ones that don't mind you sharing and self-promoting your content, and connect with your audience manually. And you need your social media accounts, and you need to get that Discord up at some point. It really is work, long before you ever get paid. But I tell you what, even if I don't make a living with my YouTube creations, waking up every morning and chatting with my friends and fans on Discord is always amazing. Wanting to be a gaming YouTuber makes sense. Us gamers tend to be the introverted, anxious, artistic types who want to minimize the stress of our lives and are intellectually bored with the mundane, entry-level, poorly paying jobs that seem to be plentiful these days. Who really wants to be punishingly micromanaged in a warehouse environment stuffing crap into boxes? Who really wants to flip burgers for so little money that you still wonder how you're going to pay for rent even after you've spent 40 or more of your most productive hours each week, plus commute, plus expenses, performing that job that you don't even enjoy, that doesn't fulfill you? Why wouldn't you want to tinker creatively on YouTube or Twitch when getting a full-time art job requires a $50,000 degree, a decent portfolio, and preferably an inside connection at a minimum? Lots of people aren't good at mundane warehouse work or fast food jobs, but they do them anyway because that's just how the world works right now. Thanks, late-stage capitalism. Being able to broadcast yourself playing games and chat with passersby seems like an easy way to make a living, or at the very least, it's something you'd be willing to do for 40 hours a week or more. And then there's the matter of what kind of content you're making. If you're just clicking the stream button and doing a no commentary run of your favorite game, good freaking luck doing much of anything with that. If you've got a face cam but you never say anything or aren't entertaining or fun to watch, you may as well not have a face cam. Or a microphone. If you create edited content like me, get used to irregular work schedules and miss deadlines as you try and slip in shorter videos to appease the algorithm before you release your longer video. Last summer, I pushed my Deus Ex video back 2 weeks because I needed shorter content ready for my weekly Thursday releases, and the review was taking longer to produce than I expected. There are creators who have to stream 80 hours a week and cheer on every new follow and subscription to get by, And then there are creators who can make 2 5-hour videos a year and still collect over $7,000 a month from Patreon support alone. The thing is, it's not that I don't want others to succeed or that I'm even discouraging you from creating or uploading content to YouTube. The thing is, if you're thinking about it, there are 100 or 1,000 people who have scaled those mountains and chipped away for that gold before you even set out on the trail. For this whole thing to grow and evolve, we all want people to explore and bring something new to the table and not act like schemers who simply copy what others do and think they can make money off of it in the same way or in the same capacity. I support my friend Orzine doing art on Twitch because he's an incredible artist and doing it for fun. I support my friend Rain101 whether he's talking politics or music or both. Have a mission and a purpose, and I'll support you too. In the end, there are truly things that cannot be taught. They have to be experienced firsthand, and I feel that it really takes a handful of streams with 0 viewers or a couple of video uploads with no views before you realize that maybe this whole thing isn't for you. Despite your optimism, despite your interest in gaming, and despite my warnings, YouTube is not I'm going to repeat this again. YouTube is not a meritocracy. You can't simply make good content and then make a living off of it. For every dude who says, oh, all I needed was good content and good thumbnails and good titles, there are 1,000 others that do the same thing and just aren't picked by the algorithm. There are cheaply produced videos that garner millions of views and elaborate videos that took countless hours to make that hang out in the vast, dark corners of YouTube unseen. If you want to make this kind of content as a hobby and for fun, that's fine. But if you dream of somehow making a living off of it or anything close, it's best to look elsewhere. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for watching me play Minecraft today. If you could, smash the like button. It's so stupid. If you could subscribe, that'd be great. Check out my Patreon and my Discord, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Interview out.